Uh, oh, cool. All right. So, hey, we should introduce ourselves. So I'm Barbara Denson from Power of the Inner Light.
Hi, and I'm Liz Marcus from Power of the Inner Light.
Okay, well, I guess that goes without saying, but that's all right. That's cool. We're a little nervous. It's the first time we've done this, so but it's
First joint video.
yeah, that's all right. We have to start somewhere, but we wanted to introduce ourselves and talk about some of the things we do.
Mhm.
And one of the things we do is channeling. So,
Exactly.
we want to talk about, Liz, do you want to tell, because I know you finished that master class on channeling. So what is it how do you channel and how do you connect?
Sure. Thank you, Barbara. So, channeling is receiving messages from the divine. And most recently, I finished a mastery channel class and I practiced with a few people from my group. And it was just really getting into the flow. When I would say when I channel, it's basically getting quiet, calling in my spiritual team. For instance, angels, archangels, my guardian angels, spirit guides,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to add of love and light, and just see what comes in. I receive messages mostly through thought, so it's coming in, like
Mm-hmm.
coming into my head, literally. And I do also have, if you've heard of the clairs, like clairvoyance, clairvoyance or
Sure.
see, clairsentience, to feel. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Clairsentience, I have a lot of that, so I do feel maybe warmth or touches like that. So that's a confirmation of the messages I'm getting. And then I say, I get it, I just speak it. So um, I started out channeling by looking at oracle cards, which is similar to tarot cards. I also wrote like the questions and answers, which
Yeah,
is
I've done that myself where
right.
I started handwriting and then
Yeah.
I write on my laptop
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
I go faster that way.
Yeah. And then that kind of led up to speaking it, and
Mm-hmm.
channeling verbally was a bit slow for me. So there were a lot of pauses. But when I, did this more advanced class, I worked up to it, and the flow is faster, but it's
Yeah.
also concise. And channeling is also a process. So it's, it comes with it's no ego. So it's not your individual thoughts driving that. That's why
Sure.
it's coming from source, creator, God,
Yeah.
goddess, for example. And you know it to be true. So it might be confirmation of your questions,
Yeah.
or they'll answer your questions, but it's not from you, it's through you, which is really, really
It's a
cool.
different feeling
Hmm.
because yeah, I do the channeling as well, and I can do the verbal channeling. And it's interesting how when we're in a group, it comes faster because you get that energy going and connecting. But when I'm by myself, I do the cards, I do the typing. My clairs, I get the words, so I guess it's a little bit of clairaudient in that respect. I tend to my strongest, at least in the beginning, was claircognizant, where all of a sudden I just know something. It's almost like it all comes at you at once, and
Right.
you get the whole picture at once.
Hmm.
That's how it feels to me. I'm not getting it in bits and pieces. I just know what something is, and I
Right.
can move on from there. So it's really interesting, but it's good. It's practice. It's nice. So I think it's really good. Actually, if anybody wants to channel,
Hmm.
I'm doing something this coming Monday, channeling your higher self. And
Oh,
I think that was a little interesting. I kind of wanted to start with that because I think your higher self, we're all doing the angels and the beings and other things, which is very powerful. And I do feel that at times. But I think there's a part of us, it's kind of, the almost the opposite of your inner child work.
yeah.
That, and this is what I'm getting now. So I'm actually doing a little channeling right now, is connecting with that part of yourself that's actually the true you and the part that's still connected.
Mhm.
as opposed to the inner child was the part of you that's kind of connected to the earth and the things that are going on, which is a little more trauma, which is a little more earth based.
Right.
The higher self is that connection of all of you. That's part earth, but also part connection. We're souls that never completely left. We actually never left because we're here. We just
Yeah.
sort of, built this denser part in the middle that we're experiencing something that's a little more physical.
Yeah.
So, but I thought that should be kind of interesting just to see how your higher self connects to you. And
Right.
it helps to integrate you into that more whole being.
Hmm.
So,
That's a
that could be interesting.
yeah, that's a good point. And for some reason, I do try to like think of, wow, what would my higher self say in different situations? Like,
Mhm.
how should I react to things?
And
It's something I disagree with. I gotta let it run the show more because I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
it's my ego. And for some reason, I don't know why I thought of it was that higher self is more from the upper chakras or from
Uh-huh.
spirit. And then thank you for bringing that in, that it's a combination of us. Like
Yeah.
it's our body and,
Mhm.
our physicalities, then also also like connecting to spirit, and it's kind of weird, and that's like a whole other thing to get into because you could do
Yeah.
classes on your
Mhm.
higher self.
Yeah. And we will.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
But it's kind of, and excuse the cat trying to get in the background. That's what the scratching noises are.
Oh,
um he's very, very determined.
yeah.
But the idea of the higher self, yeah, for some reason I'm getting that, one, I every once in a while think of her as the really good girl friend that periodically kicks you in the butt and say it's time to get your act together, in a nice way, in a
Uh,
loving way. But it's like, and the more you get there, yeah, it's like, okay, you keep leveling up. It's now time to, it's okay to, be tough and my higher self feels like to me that it's more earthbound in a way.
oh,
It's like the bigger me the potential of us.
yeah. That's really
Ooh, wow,
interesting.
the light when I just set that, the light, did you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
That was cool.
In
It
there.
was like confirmation, like, she gets it finally.
And this is what happens like when you might join one of our spiritual discussions uh,
Yeah,
during the month, that we can talk
that's it.
about all these topics that you might think, oh, where are these? It might be a little weird. Somebody might think I'm weird, but you're joining your fellow weird
Weirdos, yeah,
friends
right.
to talk about it. It's
Yeah,
true. It's just like we're talking to each other, but
yeah,
yet we can communicate with our higher selves or
right.
our ascended masters. That's
And you
people
can
who
talk about
us
all those things that,
yeah.
yeah, you can talk about all those things that you were afraid to talk about with other people.
Hmm.
But it's none of us are going to look at you weird
Right.
because we're all there.
Hmm.
That's what
Exactly.
we're here for, is to talk weird stuff.
Right. And
And
yeah, that's
mhm,
happened sort of when your spiritual journey starts.
yeah,
That's when the stuff comes in. I mean, you might have
yeah,
started
yeah.
learning. I mean, for me, it was learning meditation and then moving on to Reiki, which is hands-on healing, um,
Hmm.
and just things just kind of spreaded from there and started to get messages and visions.
Yeah.
Um, just things happen, and it sort of propels you because you're supposed to be
Yeah.
doing that.
And and it is good. And you feel that energy and you feel that forward motion.
Hmm.
And then sometimes stuff hits you because, and all of a sudden stuff will come out. So, it is good. We don't want to think that it's all energy and light. It is work.
Right.
And there is a lot of stuff that's going to come up.
Mhm.
And you're going to go through times where it's tiring. But the nice thing also about coming to spiritual discussions or going to other groups, whether it's ours or somebody else's, is you have that support,
Yeah.
which you kind of need when you're getting to that point, and you get the support of people who are going through it as well.
Mhm.
So we can have fun with it. It's okay to be light. It's okay to not take yourself too seriously. But
Right.
when you're really going through these shifts, it's nice to be able to go and say, I feel like crap. You know, and my spirit guides are probably getting flat foreheads from, you know, oh my God,
Right, right.
she's at it again.
We're doing that. And it's so true because I mean, we just had we had eclipse, we had like
Mhm.
new moon, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of energy in the air. I don't know how much the planets and such affect us personally, but it just seems that we pick up on it, being empaths and spiritual minded beings. And yeah, sometimes stuff happens. It's
Sometimes stuff does happen. Yeah.
bumps in life, uh,
Hmm.
but it's kind of a nice thing to know that we're not alone, that we can
Yeah.
tap into this, we can talk to people about it who
Hmm.
get it, and we can actually ask for help. It's not just just getting the messages. We can also like ask our angels and guides
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
ascended masters, whoever's on our spiritual team, for actual help in our life,
Right.
and we'll receive it. And I'd like to add, for our highest and best good, in a safe and loving way.
Yeah.
This is so much
And
that you tack on.
yes, that and for me, it's, you know, if I'm asking for something, saying what I like to do is thank the spirit and thank everybody for giving me what I need.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I think I want something, but then I'll add on or something better,
Right.
because what I think I need is not necessarily what's best for me. And I like to add that as I'm expanding and it's good for me, that the lives of the people I touch will also improve because I've expanded and I have something more to offer.
Yeah.
So it's not just about, yes, it's great to have the material things and there's nothing wrong with having the material stuff and the car and the money. It makes life a lot easier, you
Mhm.
know, but it doesn't mean, wow, these lights are going on and off.
Yeah,
Have they been doing this all night?
stuff happening like just before.
And was it doing it all night? Because I didn't have my view on. Was it doing that all night or no?
So I think it's now,
It's now. Oh my God, we must be really connecting. This is so cool. Oh my God. Where was I? We were talking about how I think that, you know, it's I don't even remember. We had something
yeah,
good going and I just got distracted.
oh, it's
Spirits got
like
to stop distracting me.
nice to have, or manifest. It's another word.
Yes, to manifest all the good
So,
stuff, it's nice to have it, makes life more comfortable,
yeah.
but it's not about that. It's
Mhm.
an energy exchange. It's the things that we have that we get that, you know, makes the money, makes things easier, but it's not about, that's not what it's about.
Right.
It's just an add-on. It's just our world right now runs on money. So there's nothing wrong with having it. It's how you use it.
Yeah. Yeah. And money is a tool. It's not, I mean, there's
Right.
a lot of perceptions about it. Like some people feel, the quote unquote, it's the root of all evil, or I've got to
It's not.
work
Yeah.
hard to get it, or it doesn't come easily, or
Right.
I can't have money. So there's a lot of things, but it's, again, like you were saying, it's an energy exchange.
Yeah.
It's something is we need in life as humans. We've got to
Mhm.
pay our bills and so forth.
I'd rather have it than not.
And yeah,
You
it
know,
makes life easier. But it's
right.
like, yeah, that just putting out the um, good vibes, that it comes to me easily. It's a flow of abundance,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's part of it.
Right, right. So I think that's good. So yeah, yeah. No, this is all good stuff, and this is what our spiritual discussions end up being.
Right, right.
One thing just flowing from one thing to the other, which is really cool. And then we'll have the spiritual discussion, you know, going deeper, where we'll take one of the topics that we really got into and really focus on that, so that we can really dig deep into something that we're, you know, that comes to us or that we feel is important, and that we can really figure it out and feel it. And if we maybe do a meditation as well, it's amazing how I've come to understand things through meditation very quickly. It's not a cerebral thing. It's not being in your head. It's
Yeah,
really just absorbing it in your heart. The head is really just the tool to interpret what you're learning.
yeah. That totally makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
Wow.
and by the way, I think we're both channeling right now,
I think,
because I
yeah,
think things are
definitely
coming
are.
through. It doesn't have to be deep and profound, and it's just things flow.
Right.
A
Right.
conversation that flows, something that comes to you, just, something that occurs to you. That's channeling. It doesn't have to be deep and powerful, and you don't have to go into a trance. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes that stuff is cool because it feels good, but it doesn't have to be that. It should be, and this is when you're integrated, that the channeling is just you connecting, becoming more whole
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
connecting with things in that way. So,
right. It's sort of like the heavenly or spiritual inspiration. I mean,
Yeah.
wherever it's coming from, like your higher self. Oh, my higher self like gave me a nudge to say this, or
mhm.
you know, my angel said that, said to say that. You never know.
You don't tell other people that's what it said, but
Right, right.
you know it. You know it. You don't
But
have to tell other
just
people
say it. And it's
because they
like
will
the
think
right,
you're nuts, maybe.
it's like it's somehow it becomes the right thing to say, but also you kind of feel it in your body, like you
Yeah.
just know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the right thing to say.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, that was good. So, anyway, we love to have people coming. So,
Mhm.
we'll put it out there. They know where to find us, powertheinnerlight.com. We got all sorts of events coming up.
Yes, exactly. We have our June events up, and we are on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. So, well, I have my channeling your higher self coming up this Monday. You have a full moon ceremony.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
what are you going to be doing with that?
I will kind of meditate on that, and that it's definitely doing a little bit of ritual of letting go what we've kind of picked up. Like we picked up a lot of energies that we probably didn't want over the last month, and each month, full moon, and certainly given the new moon, it gives us a chance to kind of restart. And
Mhm.
full moon is traditionally letting stuff go, and new moon is bringing something new. So in
Oh,
the
that makes
future,
sense.
I would do a new moon ceremony as well.
Okay,
That's June
cool. Yeah.
23rd.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think that at the end of the month, we have Kathy, who's not here, who's going to be doing her intro to Reiki.
Yeah.
So that'll be, for anybody who's interested and doesn't know anything about it,
Mhm.
that would be a nice opportunity to sort of tune in and see what it's about. And I think she's doing a Reiki healing. So
Yeah.
you will be getting a Reiki healing. And you don't have to be physically in the room. You can be at home sitting on Zoom, and it doesn't matter. Energy is energy.
Mhm.
The idea that there's distance is actually an illusion.
Right. It's
This is
true.
all an illusion. Think the Matrix.
Yeah, that may
We're
be
all imagining it.
spiritual basis, and it's
Yep.
true. It's like once you
Yeah.
start connecting,
Yep.
whether it's in person or online, you feel
Yeah.
the energy, and it's really amazing.
Sure. Sure. So I think that'll be good. So anyway, we just wanted to bring everybody in, have our own little conversation. It would be nice to have a bigger group. Not that I don't love hanging out with you, Liz.
Oh, same here.
So, but it's good to see you, and we'll be back.
You too. And yeah, we look forward to seeing some folks joining us.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Oh, pretty cool. So, all right, take care.
You
So
too.
all right, I'm turning this off. So hold on.